January 1st, 2016. ISIS lover Emmanuel Luchtman planned New Year's machete attack, says FBI. Obama to announce new executive action on guns. White House delays imposing new sanctions on Iran for missile program. Clinton emails say billionaire Soros said he regretted backing Obama. Former Ben Carson campaign manager gives an inside look at campaign dysfunction. Chris Christie's punchlines versus Marco Rubio's polish on Iowa campaign trail. Coming 2016. All-out war on so-called social justice. If Carrie Fisher doesn't like being judged on looks, she should quit acting. Even Europe's humanitarian superpower is turning its back on refugees. January 2nd, 2016. Al-Shabaab releases recruitment video featuring Donald Trump. Terror group uses Donald Trump soundbite in purported propaganda video. Skywriting above Rose Parade. Trump is disgusting. Why America is right to think Obama's losing the war on terror. America's self-destructive whites. Insiders give their top predictions for 2016. 2 ways of dealing with guns. January 3rd, 2016. CADA affiliate uses video of Donald Trump for recruiting. Trump responds to Al-Shabaab video. I have to say what I have to say. After the Trump terror vid, can we start calling her Al-Shabaab media advisor Hillary Clinton? Trump backers say their New Hampshire voter database is huge. Clinton campaign hopes bill will deliver a New Hampshire comeback kid boost. Armed groups leader in federal building. We will be here as long as it takes. You need to understand Mormonism if you want to understand the Oregon standoff. In Chicago, distrust toward mayor has turned personal. The myth of the cop-killing epidemic. Scalia dismisses concept of religious neutrality in speech. January 4th, 2016. Saudi Arabia cuts ties with Iran amid fallout from cleric's execution. Trump says Clinton and Obama created ISIS. Donald Trump's provocative first TV ad raises the temperature of GOP race. GOP field rips Obama's move toward executive action to tighten gun control laws. Rand Paul says Hillary will take us back to war. Paula Jones says Hillary Clinton two-faced, liar, cares nothing about women at all. When he was 16, this man threw one punch and went to jail for life. Paul Ryan wants House to steer Republican policy agenda. 2015 was the year Congress started working again. January 5th, 2016. Obama to expand gun background checks and tighten enforcement. Obama to expand gun control measures. Excuses no longer suffice. Armed men, led by Bundy brothers, take over federal building in rural Oregon. Authorities plan to cut off power to militia at occupied Oregon refuge. How the leader of the Oregon armed protest benefited from a federal loan program. Trump and Cruz send shivers down GOP spine. Cruz says attacks show that other campaigns are panicking. Saudi and Iran row spreads to other nations. Bill gutting Obamacare would save $500 billion over a decade, CBO finds. January 6, 2016. North Korea nuclear test. Regime says it has successfully detonated hydrogen bomb. Tremor detected near North Korean nuclear site. Tearful Obama outlines steps to curb gun deaths. Trump says Cruz's Canadian birth could be very precarious for GOP. Trump Organization says proposed UK ban over Muslim remarks a dangerous precedent. Leader of armed protesters in Oregon took out $530,000 federal loan. Cruz camp mocks Rubio's high-heeled booties. The Clintons are in denial about Bill's sex scandals. January 7, 2016. Man with knife and fake explosives shot dead outside Paris police station. Man with cleaver killed in Paris police on anniversary of Charlie Hebdo attacks. Donald Trump wants Ted Cruz to go before a judge about his citizenship. John McCain says, "I don't know if Cruz is eligible for presidency with Canadian birth." Marco walks tall. Rubio channels Nicolas Sarkozy and wears some well-heeled boots while campaigning in New Hampshire. Bill Clinton rape accuser says Hillary tried to silence me. 17 miners rescued from salt mine near Ithaca. Time Warner Cable says up to 320,000 customers' data may have been stolen. Amazon to sell its own brand of chips next to wipes and USB cables. The Nation He Built, a review of Barack Obama's domestic policy legacy and the changes he made while nobody was paying attention. January 8, 2016. Feds arrest 2 Middle East refugees on terror-related charges. Latest batch of Clinton emails contains 66 more classified messages. Trump tells security to take protesters' coats, throw them out into the cold. Trump likes to sleep in his own bed, and it may cost him votes. Congressman readies Ted Cruz eligibility lawsuit with eye on mom. Priebus 100% confident he can rally Republican Party behind Cruz or Trump. Obama's top national security officials to meet with Silicon Valley CEOs. German vigilante groups pledge to protect women in migrant sex assault cities. The GOP establishment's civil war. U.S. added 292,000 jobs in December, capping year of steady growth. January 9, 2016. Why Germany can't face the truth about migrant sex attacks. Sue Reed finds a nation in denial as a wave of horrific attacks is reported across Europe. Poll says Trump beats Hillary in general election matchup. Fox poll says Sanders soars in New Hampshire. Cruz says I spank my daughter when she lies. Voters can administer a spanking to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is running the most sexist campaign ever. Donald Trump must be destroyed. Republican politicians jumped the gun on terrorism suspects' arrest, say sources. Charles Koch is disappointed that he can't buy more influence. OkCupid adds a feature for the polyamorous. January 10, 2016. Germany on the brink. This is what really happened the night women were sexually assaulted in front of police. Mexican official says Penn meeting helped in capture. Marco Rubio calls Sean Penn's El Chapo Guzman interview grotesque. Clinton's gamble on Muslims. Nuclear deal fuels Iran's hardliners. Longest armed standoff in American history ends. Grandfather who bit a cop, then threatened to kill any officer who came to arrest him, has charges dropped after 16 years, meaning he is free to leave his home for the first time since 1999. Struggling GOP contenders relish moment to ignore Trump. Why Amazon's data centers are hidden in spy country. January 11th, 2016. David Bowie, the legendary musician, has died at 69. FBI's Clinton probe expands to public corruption track. Bernie Sanders in striking distance. Poll says neck-and-neck 2016 races in Iowa and New Hampshire. Harvard scholar says Ted Cruz's citizenship and eligibility for president unsettled. My right to die. Assisted suicide, my family and me. Obama and GOP Congress near end of long, ugly relationship. The White House just joined Snapchat. New Republic owner Chris Hughes puts magazine up for sale. December 12, 2016. Hillary Clinton races to close enthusiasm gap with Bernie Sanders in Iowa. Poll says Americans divided on Obama job performance in final year. Rand Paul, bumped from main debate stage, will boycott Thursday's undercard. Terrifying echoes of Kristallnacht. Mayor condemns naked violence after far-right thugs rampage through streets of Germany, smashing windows of kebab shops. Denying the obvious about Islamist terror. Biden says Obama offered financial help amid son's illness. Obama has a good record to brag about tonight, but people still hate the government. Ex-politician John Edwards among lawyers vying for lead role in Volkswagen suit. Chinese gaming billionaire buys U.S. gay dating app Grindr. Executive actions used to enhance power of government. January 13, 2016. Dramatic video shows 10 American sailors on their knees as they surrender to Iranian troops while their commander apologizes for trespassing in the Persian Gulf. Iran's swift release of U.S. soldiers hailed as a sign of warmer relations. Obama's State of the Union optimism at odds with voter anxiety. President barely mentions guns in State of the Union. Poll says Donald Trump holds on to top spot nationally. Ted Cruz says Trump embodies New York values. Clinton gets nod from former Attorney General Eric Holder. Chelsea Clinton takes aim at Sanders over health policy. GOP rep just found out he invited Kim Davis to the State of the Union. Republicans warn Bush team against harming Rubio. January 14, 2016. Paris-style terror attack in Jakarta leaves 5 attackers and 2 others dead. Alan Rickman, Harry Potter and Die Hard actor, dies aged 69. Ted Cruz didn't disclose loan from Goldman Sachs for his first Senate campaign. Cruz plotting new attacks on Trump. Donald Trump says his political movement is bigger than Reagan's. South Carolina GOP chairman says Coulter's attack on Haley despicable. Paul Ryan says Obama's State of the Union degrades the presidency. Obama's final State of the Union address draws record-low TV audience. Iran frees U.S. sailors with start of nuclear deal in sight. Looming setback for public unions would be a political earthquake. January 15, 2016. Why I will never vote for Donald Trump. Can Donald Trump actually be the Republican nominee? Trump more than doubles national lead in poll. RNC member urges party to rally against Trump. Cruz's natural-born citizen status tested in birther suit. Rand Paul says GOP is turning into the old white man's party. 2 Marine helicopters involved in collision in Hawaii, 12 people missing. Sean Penn has a terrible regret about El Chapo meeting. Chipotle to close all restaurants on February 8th for food safety meeting. Chipotle plans marketing campaign to win back customers. January 16th, 2016. Iran releases Washington Post journalist Jason Rezaian in prisoner swap with U.S. Ted Cruz failed to report a second campaign loan in 2012. Cruz's story of White House rejection leaves out job offer. Lawyer says he filed Cruz eligibility lawsuit because nobody else did. Rubio's last-minute theatrics make it a 3-man GOP race. Burkina Faso attack. Ouagadougou hotel hit by gunfire. Growing number of police chiefs and sheriffs join call to arms. Obama unveils plan to reform unemployment insurance. Email may derail case against Bill Cosby. January 17, 2016. U.S. finds Iran in compliance with deal and lifts nuclear sanctions. Iran releases 4 American prisoners after months of top-secret negotiations. Trump condemns terms of Iran prisoner swap as Republicans join in criticism. In negotiating to free Americans in Iran, U.S. blinked on new sanctions. Donald Trump ramps up attacks on Ted Cruz, says he's a nasty guy. Donald Trump booed by conservative crowd after attacks on Ted Cruz. Former RNC chair says Trump will be the Republican nominee. The one weird trait that predicts whether you're a Trump supporter. ABC producer was murdered and sexually assaulted while on vacation in Belize. January 18, 2016. Hillary Clinton embraces Obama legacy as Bernie Sanders aims for Democrats' hearts. Sanders releases Medicare for All health plan hours before debate. Bernie Sanders' single-payer plan isn't a plan at all. Why Clinton brought up Flint's water crisis. 13 hours, Benghazi and the slippery definition of political. Can Hillary take 13 hours of truth? Bill Clinton's pardon of fugitive Mark Rich continues to pay big. GOP to blame for civility's breakdown. January 19, 2016. Cruz blasts Trump's ties to Democrats. Cruz aide says deeply disappointed if Palin endorsed Trump. Trump's bad bet, how too much debt drove his biggest casino aground. Trump and Clinton still way ahead, weekly tracking poll shows. Film shows Clinton aides' own struggle with Anthony Weiner scandal. The religious right's Donald Trump dilemma. 13 Hours captures how Americans really feel about our global standing. Building where Bill of Rights was born partially demolished. Area satirical publication The Onion sold to Univision. Seriously. January 20th, 2016. Hillary Clinton email said to include material exceeding top secret. Poll says Sanders trouncing Clinton in New Hampshire. Can Hillary take 13 hours of truth? Clinton blew the most crucial foreign policy issue, Sanders says in Iowa. So, here's the full text of Sarah Palin's bizarre Trump speech. Rubio betting on a long-haul strategy to win GOP nomination. Rifle capable of taking down helicopter found at El Chapo hideout purchased through Fast and Furious program. January 21st, 2016. How water crisis in Flint, Michigan became federal state of emergency. As water problems grew, officials belittled complaints from Flint. Officials say new top-secret Clinton emails innocuous. Top-secret email revelation changes nothing, Clinton says. Hillary Clinton blames the vast right-wing conspiracy for her email woes. Sarah Palin's circle of victimhood. Trump fear stalks Davos as elite prey for spring reality check. Trump says Cruz is nervous. Carly Fiorina accused of ambushing children for anti-abortion rally. The battle for the soul of the right. January 22, 2016. National Review disinvited from GOP debate after publishing anti-Trump issue. Donald Trump says establishment warming up to me. Ted Cruz says Donald Trump's immigration policy amounts to amnesty. North Korea detains U.S. student on New Year's trip for hostile act. Guantanamo detainee refuses release offer. Google paid Apple $1 billion to keep search bar on iPhone. Oscars 2016. Charlotte Rampling says diversity row is racist to white people. Who had worst week in Washington? Hillary Clinton. January 23, 2016. Clinton email exposed intel from human spying. Bloomberg, sensing an opening, revisits a potential White House run. Jeff Bezos flies Jason Rezaian home on private jet. Jason Rezaian's wife and mother describe their torturous final hours in Iran. Mexico aims to extradite El Chapo as soon as possible. Germans must ban alcohol if they want to prevent further sex attacks and help North Africans integrate, says Muslim group. U.S. authorities distorting tests to downplay lead content of water. Analysis: the storm that's hit the GOP. Milk, bread, and eggs, the trinity of winter storm panic shopping. January 24th, 2016. Trump says he could shoot somebody and still maintain support. Poll says Trump gains in Iowa, still dominates in New Hampshire. Trump welcomes a senator, bashes Beck's support of Cruz. Chuck Grassley introduces Donald Trump at Iowa rally. Gang of migrants arrested after assaulting women and gratifying themselves at historic German swimming baths. The shoes are raining down in Hillary's email mess. January 25th, 2016. New ISIS video shows Paris attackers committing prior atrocities and threatening UK. Trump calls out protester wearing a turban. He wasn't wearing one of those hats, was he? Poll says Trump retakes Iowa lead, keeps big edge in New York and South Carolina. Guess which divisive Republican is now campaigning as a political uniter? Hillary Clinton stumbles. Hillary Clinton says a Bloomberg presidential run will be unnecessary. Clinton vows to win nomination to keep Bloomberg out of race. I get Sanders' appeal, but he's not a credible president. Sentences for young murderers limited by U.S. Supreme Court. January 26, 2016. Grand jury in Texas indicts activists behind Planned Parenthood videos. Donald Trump says Ted Cruz is telling lie after lie. Trump says Ted Cruz looks like a jerk. YDC hates Ted Cruz. Cruz-hating Republicans need a reality check. Trump says I'll work with Democrats. Poll says Donald Trump dominates GOP field at 41%. Stay sane, America, please. Why we must rethink solitary confinement, says Obama. We checked if 2,000 voters recognized the 2016 candidates' faces. Here's what we found. January 27th, 2016. Trump and Fox News at war after he decides to skip debate. The rise of the misinformed voter and Donald Trump. Republicans point fingers. Who let Trump get this far? Ammon Bundy and 7 others held in Oregon. Lavoy Finicum is reported dead. Hillary Clinton would consider appointing President Obama to Supreme Court. Muslims are not like us, and we should just accept they will never integrate, says former Racial Equalities Chief Trevor Phillips. Wounded Warrior Project accused of wasting donation money. Donald Trump's biggest fan is an excitable 9-year-old girl from Maine. Is Bernie Sanders really naive about Iran? January 28, 2016. Trump refuses to reconsider debate in fiery Fox interview. Trump's Fox News debate fight widens Republican rift. Clinton seen as winner in November. Trump inspires anxiety. Sanders challenges Clinton to 3 new debates. Campaigning in style. How Jeb Bush blew through his war chest. The admiral in charge of Navy intelligence has not been allowed to see military secrets for years. Inside Facebook's decision to blow up the like button. Excluded by the Reverend Martin Luther King, a new low in campus PC. An unprecedented threat to privacy. January 29, 2016. Trump campaign manager says Trump will debate Cruz once judge rules him eligible to run. Donald Trump is shocking, vulgar, and right. Why is Jim Gilmore even running for president? Obama promises party faithful Democrats will win. Black lives like my father's should matter. That's why I'm endorsing Bernie Sanders. Chelsea Clinton's fundraising flop. SoulCycle event to raise money for Hillary a bust as $2,700 seats are offered for just $50 to fill bikes. State to release some Clinton emails on Friday. Thousands still delayed. Apple said developing wireless charged phone for as soon as 2017. Oregon militia standoff. One dead after Ammon Bundy and others arrested. Massive shakeup at Politico with co-founder Jim Vanderhei and Mike Allen set to leave. January 30th, 2016. Official says some Clinton emails too damaging to release. Newsbreak says government declares 22 Clinton emails top secret. Flint weighs scope of harm to children caused by lead in water. Donald Trump calls Ted Cruz an anchor baby. Donald Trump says no regrets about missing GOP debate. Why I still believe Donald Trump will never be president. The city destroyed by migration. Inside the Swedish town where armed gangs patrol the streets, crime has exploded and a beautiful social worker's murder has shocked Europe. Google Fiber may be looking to add phone services. January 31st, 2016. The big Iowa test. Can Trump and Sanders turn enthusiasm into votes? Trump overtakes Cruz in final Iowa poll before caucuses. Clinton says, I didn't generate any top secret emails. This was all planned. Former IG says Hillary and State Department are lying. Koch network spent nearly $400 million in 2015. EU leaders insist there is no link between the migrant crisis and New Year's sex attacks in Cologne, and vow to bring about an end to false accusations. Liz Cheney to run for Wyoming's U.S. House seat. Iowa political parties acknowledge major gap in online caucus tool. Unemployed, Myanmar's elephants grow antsy and heavier.